Good evening, everybody. Welcome on to another stream. It is Thursday night, and yeah, I'm back from SPC for a little while. Of course, it's happened now. I know that I haven't actually streamed for the last week or two, so took a bit. I was kind of enjoying having a little bit of a break from streaming, to be completely honest. So coming back today at the very least, and today we'll be going through a few of my games from SPC that actually finished, I guess, what now? 2 weeks ago, I think? Something like that. It's been a while now. I know that some of you have been watching the World Cup coverage that finished, I think, yesterday. So hope you guys enjoyed that as well. I didn't want to necessarily stream kind of in between all that stuff either, so I thought I would just wait until the end. Hopefully some people who may be kind of recovering from World Cup can also potentially enjoy the stream too. So hope you all did well and did hopefully better than you wanted to, I guess. So yeah. I also have a streamer announcement coming up at 10 p.m. US Central Time. So it is 8:46 right now where I am. So in about an hour and a bit, I will have something very important to tell you about my stream and my channel as well. So stick around for that. But I have my SPC scorecard right here, which I used at the time. And my scorecard, as you can see, there's no games in the last 3 because I made the finals, so was happy about that. And I have all of my score sheets from those games as well. I'll be able to go through a bunch of those with you tonight. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. Hopefully not going to be going through too many. I don't think I'm going to go through any of the games that were actually on the stream. So I'm not going to be talking about the finals. I won't be talking about any games that were, again, as I said, when I was actually on the stream, because you guys can, if you're watching it, or if you want to watch it later on, you can watch that. It's all there, and the information is there. I'm just going to go through games that were not on the stream. Admittedly, that does take a slight percentage of the games that are left off the table. So there's that. Just to bear in mind for tonight. Also, thank you to Bluefelly for the resub as well at the start of the stream. I very much appreciate that. So thank you very much for subscribing for 5 months now. Thank you. Again, if anyone else wants to do that, feel free. If you have Amazon Prime and you have it linked to your Twitch account, then you can subscribe to any channel for any month for a month for free, essentially. So consider subscribing to this channel if you haven't already. So yeah, I have my scorecard here. I'm going to basically just run through a bunch of the stuff here real quick. But again, if you kind of want an overarching kind of synopsis of what happened, I did pretty well. I did train or practice pretty hard for this as well, which you would have seen in my previous streams. Did get to the finals as the #1 seed, but unfortunately, after winning the first 2 games of the best of 5, I lost the last 3 to Josh Castellano, and he is very much very well deserved winner for the title. And yeah, I actually wasn't disappointed in losing whatsoever. I have to be completely honest. That is the honest truth. I know that he has the ability to beat anybody 3 games in a row. And I played as best as I could. I don't feel like I made any like extremely huge blunders. So it wasn't like I know I was at the finish line and I just had to get over the line and I didn't do it. It was just, there were just some moments in certain games where it was like, if it went slightly differently, I think I would have had a much better chance and then may have just won the 3rd game, like just like that. So but yeah, he's also now a 2-time national champion, just like me. So welcome to the club, Josh. But we'll see how, we'll see how many more we can win, I guess, as time goes on. But it was then it was very much a morale booster for me, at the very least, playing and beating a lot of the top players in this tournament. So again, I know that the quality is there, just need to get a good run in, basically, essentially. Good evening to Nork, saying, hey, good to see you back. Well done at SPC and condolences in the finals. What a best of 5. Thank you. Itiasta also saying was a great match. Thank you very much for that too. Kind words, as always. Appreciate that. But yeah, we're not going to go through the finals. We're not, again, said we're not going to go through the finals, not through stream games. So again, all those are all online. You can watch it whenever you want. No big deal. And yeah, that's all good. Again, if you've probably already watched it anyway, so it's all good. But yeah, we're going to go through the other games, basically. I'm going to just run down through my scorecard. Okay, just as I did that. Thank you, Nook, for the resub for 4 months now. Thank you very much for that. I very much appreciate that. Okay, and so let's go from the start then. So on game 1, I was against Alex Seaholm, defending champion. We were on the stream, so I'm not going to go through it, but I did have a narrow victory over him. 34 points. So, yeah, pretty good start. Again, I'm kind of not the first seed as well, so in this kind of round robin kind of section of this tournament, I have to play some of the more higher seeds at the beginning of the tournament, and then play some of the lower seeds on day 2, and then it kind of snakes back up to some of the higher seeds on day 3. So again, playing Alex Seaholm in the first game, you know, hopefully you kind of warmed up straight away, and luckily I was, so I won that game. Game 2 against Jason Keller, I managed to win that one also by 140 points. So a good start for me on that one. Game 3, I played against Kevin Fraley. So I'm actually going to go and talk about this game as the as our first kind of walkthrough for tonight. So this is a game 3 against Kevin Fraley. Good evening to Noah. Hey, finals were great. Well done. Thank you very much. Good morning, I guess, to Brentus. Good to see you. Yes, this is SPC. Yeah, I haven't streamed for the last maybe 2 or 3 weeks now, so we're here. Also, Brentus, thank you for sending these tiles as well. Actually, I'm just about to go get them because I think I'm going to show the viewership right now, real quick, how good your tiles are. So let me just go show them real quick. Give me 1 second. Alright, so I have these tiles. They're actually conveniently placed very close to me. And actually, if you want to, you get a plug, of course, Brennan, of course. Before I kind of move on, yes, I'm going to do the plug for Brentus Firmus here, who is making tiles for people. Also makes boards as well, if there's ever something that you might want. But I actually have 4 sets of tiles, so one for me, one for my wife Lindsay, one for my daughter Leah, one for my mother-in-law Lila. So I actually have all 4 of them here. I can show you all of them real quick because yeah, you might as well see it. So I have this one here. This is an Arsenal themed set of tiles, and if you open them, look, I try not to make them fall out, but they're all like this. I need to hold it at an angle where it won't fall out. And if they fall out all over me, then that's not too good, but I think they're all pretty nice, as you can see that. And the blanks have the Arsenal cannon on there as well. And what I really like about this as well is that underneath each tile, so like I've just taken off the top corner here with the E, and you can see that there's an imprint of the E underneath when it's been packaged here. So it's like it just kind of goes in, and it's like it stays in. Like I can like shake it and it won't fall out. What's the weight like on them? I think they're slightly lighter than normal tiles, like that you might find, like you might buy somewhere else. But they're not like gonna get blown away in the wind or anything. But like they're fine. I mean they're fine for me to use. That's for sure. 0.8 grams each. Yeah, so about half the weight. Yeah, that makes about sense. I also have one from Lindsay for Lindsay as well. Like, these are pickable themed tiles. Just gonna open them. So these are obviously these are all different fonts, different colors. So you can see right here. You can see the font is kind of, you know, a little bit different, a bit more fun, and the blanks are different. So one's a pickable paddle and one's a pickable ball. So you can see right here. So yeah, that's also yeah, very nice to see as well. Actually, yeah, don't play with these tiles outside or anything. Okay, they might just fly off across the bench or a bench table or whatever you're going to play on. My daughter Leah has these tiles. Let me just show the front of it. So it's this again. See if any of you guys can identify what this may be. Oh, what this might be. It's actually nice and sparkly as well. You can see. And these are the tiles that we have here. Look at that. Oh, we're trying to not aim against the light too much, but you can see that. The tiles are very nice as well. Kind of funky font as well, but all legible, so it's all very nice to see. Yes, these are really, really cool tiles to receive here. And they're all actually also very glittery and sparkly as well. And the last but not least, my mother-in-law Lila has these fleur de lis, which is very symbolic for New Orleans. So here it is, and then I'll open the tiles, and you can see here. There it is. Look. So they're not quite, you know, like the NASPA kind of tiles with the fleur de lis on them. These are purple and yellow with a slight green outline around the tiles, around the lettering as well. I think you can just about see that as well. So yes, these are all very, very cool tiles to receive. And now we have 4 of them. So yeah. So really the main problem now that you have now given us, Brendan, is that now we need to actually choose one to play with. So now we're going to be fighting amongst each other, amongst us now to play with our own tiles. So, as you can see with all of these, got all of these, and the pickable ones, and the Arsenal one, so all of these are here. These are, you know, very much very, very well made, very well packaged, really nice set of tiles that I would 100% recommend. Anybody, if you want tiles, go talk to Brentus Firmus in the chat. And these are, again, I mean, I haven't actually played with them yet, but I definitely 100%, 200% recommend you guys to go check them out, or give Brentus some business and something for him to cut his teeth into with whatever you may want. Completely 100% customized to whatever you may want. So if that's not enough of a plug for you guys, there it is. You can see it with your own eyes what I just received in the mail today. Not today, but it was actually, I think, yesterday actually. So really, really fun thing to receive. And again, thank you to Brentus for sending this to us. I will get around to sending you some payment. I know we have a price already lined out, but I'm actually going to give you extra. I'm going to give you more for that, because this is actually way beyond the Call of Duty that you have given us. So I will definitely do that very soon, I guess. once I figure out how I'm gonna do it, but I will definitely get around to doing that and give you a tip or something. So that's what we'll do. We just go put this away. Okay, I'll leave that over there for now. So yes, completely, yeah, completely got derailed by that, but we will kind of get back onto kind of the main course of what I was going to be saying. Thanks for the free publicity. No, absolutely no problem. We definitely need more Scrabble manufacturers, I guess is the right word, maybe. Or like for sets, for anything, basically. I think that's what we need. We need more choice, we need more things around. And proof's in the pudding, you know? You can see it right there. And one of these kind of bespoke tiles could be yours, as long as you want to, if you want it. So go hit up Prentice Famus, if it's in the chat. Okay, so let me go talk about game 3, which is against Kevin Fraley. After all that, I forgot where I was, what I was actually doing now. I got so excited about these tiles that I actually forgot what I was doing. Let's go over to this other game view here. Alright, so I'm playing against Kevin Fraley, very strong North American player, and he's the 5th seed in this tournament. Let's see. So I think I am the 3rd seed in this tournament as well, so got some things here. Okay, so this is actually my first rack. Kind of a weird one. I could play very short, I could also play quite long. Again, I didn't really want to give away too many floating tiles, but at the same time, like, do you score points here? Like, you can score points. I probably didn't play the right thing here, to be completely honest. I did play Clod. I just felt like something like Clod. Well, Cold has hooks on either side. I could have played something longer, like Colted or something, which probably would have been slightly better, but I didn't want to give away too many. Well, all 7 of those tiles are pretty good floaters, so decided just to play Clod. Try not to give away too much, although it's still 4 tiles, not 6. Okay, so next, Kevin plays I above Claude. And then I actually have this. I drew, well, let me see. So I actually had ENT on my rack, and then I drew ABEI. So I drew into Betane here. And I was like, wow, this is simple. Okay, easy move. But then I was like, do I play Betane here? He just played off 2 E's, and I could play Betane right like this. Or, and I was like, wait a minute, I actually have another possible place to play Betane over here. So it now becomes a choice of whether or not you think 3 points is going to be given away, or 3 fewer points on average is going to be given away in this position than this position, because the E is in a very tantalizing place for high scoring words, maybe not even words that are bingos, but just anything. Whereas the B is kind of a bit more awkward, but of course there's also a 3-point tile. Pretty much anything with other high point tiles is going to score a lot. Also gives away this kind of spot above Betane as well, that the higher scoring option does do as well, but not quite to that degree. So there's a few different things here. And yeah, I actually went with this option, which it seemed that McConnor did not like as much. It wasn't that much worse, but it was worse. Maybe I just kind of got myself in a bit of a bind here in terms of what I should be playing, or maybe the fact that this kind of hook for I kind of gives away a lot also if you kind of leave that open. But I just thought my main thing is that the B in the triple lane is probably not going to be as much of a problem. But again, you could probably get hit with something above Betane that is still going to be pretty significant, potentially. Again, the bot just played. Well, I don't think bot. Sorry, Kevin played I, so I'm like maybe he has a bunch of vowels. I don't really know, but hard to really tell. But I went with this. It wasn't the best move. It's slightly worse than the other one. Turns out it was actually a pretty bad mistake because he ends up playing through the B and actually scoring a lot of points. He ends up playing Webhead. I mean, that was almost as bad as it could possibly be. With a tile like the B in that position, which I thought was a little bit unlucky to a certain degree, because it was like, I mean, if he had to run this again, how often would he have a 60-point play in the triple lane? Probably not all that often, but here we are. He ends up actually negating my bingo with this, and again, something on the with the E on the other side. I don't know. Maybe he wouldn't have had anything. I'm not really sure. I didn't know what I couldn't remember what he kept. But either way, he ends up tying up the game now, 80 to 80. So the next move, I have this rack now. I kind of draw into some kind of icky tiles with a blank. Did think for a little while whether or not some words were good or not in terms of bingos. Felt like I was missing something. Found some other bingos that were good as an 8s, but the floaters were not on the board. And after probably like 4 or 5 minutes, I ended up realizing I couldn't really think of anything that would fit in terms of bingos, and I was right, because there are no bingos. Ended up playing Holly underneath Ed, keeping I blank, which I think was the best play after simulation. Kind of got hit back again because after Webhead, he plays Diviner under kind of parallel to it for 84 points. Opening up a big spot in the bottom left corner now. And I have drawn into AEIJS. Which, as you can see, doesn't really go particularly well with the letters of Diviner in the bottom left corner. Really looking to play, well, obviously looking to play a bingo, but if you can't find a bingo, looking to play something like Jai or Ahi somewhere. The most obvious place is playing above Hully here for 35. But when I was actually sitting there, I was like, would it be weird if or actually better, if I actually play Ahi down here? Not only because you also have to think that you're keeping EIS blank. You're actually sacrificing 4 points, but you're now opening a second triple lane with an I in this position and an R at the bottom of the board. And actually, I was thinking about it and was like, I bet Macondo will like this move. As you can tell, obviously we can tell, I don't have to say, but you can't block both 9-timers at the same time, so you will have a shot at a 9-timer somehow with your EIS blank leave. But I just couldn't pull the trigger on it. I just was like, I don't think the I in the triple lane with what I'm having is probably quite good enough. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe if I didn't have another I, if I had like a, I don't know, for example, like an R or a T or something that doesn't give me a bingo, but something that wasn't duplicated or giving or having so many vowels already with an I, maybe I would have done it. But it does turn out that Macondo actually does think that Ahi underneath the Y actually is a better play. I don't know if it's one of those kind of nuances with, you know, merely just being a robot. It doesn't really know or really understand the nuances. By how much? Okay, well, why don't we... I mean, I know this is not quite Macondo, but this will be pretty close. So Ahi here versus Ahi here. We can remove this. We can remove this. I actually can't remember what the differences were, but it was significant enough to be like, well, it's actually the best play. I think, anyway. So we're getting towards about 1,000 iterations already. It's not that much of a difference. I mean, this is just according to Quackle. It's slightly different, and you can see that it's kind of changing hands as we go along. But I think that Macondo does like the aggressive nature of the possibility of a 9-timer coming down, especially also that I'm slightly behind as well. Maybe that's also a factor. And again, it doesn't actually take into account that your opponent has a random rack. So again, you can see it's still kind of changing hands, and actually at the moment it thinks that the highest scoring he is actually better. I'd like to I ran this like a few weeks ago now, but I think it was something like a couple of % better. So it's a bit different to what Quackle is saying, but it was slightly better. And again, right now it's slightly, well, I say that slightly ahead. It's actually about the same, but yeah, either way, it's probably not a big difference. It's just very small nuance. If I stop it here, then it says that it's slightly better. Macondo doesn't always sim enough, I think. It's quite possible, yeah. Once it kind of narrows down the options, then it just kind of settles for something that is slightly better, I guess, and then it just stops. So I guess that's true to a certain degree. Oh, wait a minute, that's not right. I did not do that. Wait, I hit up here. Okay, so then Kevin plays something down here. He plays Arika for 30 points. Which was a little bit annoying because I actually did have a 9-timer down there. I had this rack, so I was ready to play Browsier through the R. And again, this was kind of also partly why I was like, I'm not so sure about the 9-timer with the I. Drawing something like OW was gonna kind of ruin that almost immediately. So it probably wasn't gonna work anyway. But here, I did find, I think, one of my highest scoring bingos, which I played Dowries for 97 above Bitane. So the I kind of say more openness of being able to play parallel to Bitane above the EL instead of the ED is now coming in useful for me here. 97 points. Now go into the lead, but I was pegged back again. So after Arika, Kevin plays his highest scoring bingo. He plays Tampion directly above Dowries, which actually was his highest score. If you generate all the options here, really nice find. 8 points ahead of anything else. So another 86 points. So after 5 moves each, I'm still behind, despite bingoing twice. Well, we both bingoed twice, but yeah, pretty high scoring so far. Okay, so next turn, not the nicest of racks, but it's workable here with the Q and the U together. There was no like amazing way to get rid of the Q and the U together here, so I decided not to deal with it right now and just get rid of some of the other tiles that I don't want. So I decided to play Fyrk, F-I-R-K, and Diviner. It's right here, which I think was the best play overall. And then Kevin plays Zoes next to it after quite some time thinking about it. Wasn't really quite sure. Maybe he has some difficult decision here. So what I did here, so I had this as a leave, AMQU, not necessarily the best draw in the world. I drew 3 vowels. I drew AOO. What about missetting Quark? So wait, so miss. Oh yeah. Well, the Q. Well, it wouldn't be miss. That's the problem. You kind of want to set it up slightly more, I guess. Quark would play there to there, if that's what we're looking at. No problem, no problem. Yeah, man, it's a good idea, though. Good idea. I was looking at ways to potentially set up the queue, and I couldn't think of anything without completely crippling my chances in a future turn if it gets blocked. So I decided just to score well with Ferk. Here, I drew three vowels. Probably not the worst time in the world if I have the queue, and I can still score well with it and get rid of them all. So I decided to play Quota here, keeping AMO. Not the best leave in the world, but you can see Unseen. Okay, let me just save this real quick. Does that work? There we go. Okay, so now you can see the Unseen tiles. There's only one A, one M, and two O's unseen. So quite unlikely that it's going to get duplicated again. So I was actually not too bad about this. It was not too bad. And then Kevin slows down a little bit here. He plays Tot underneath Dowries for 15, so he's now about 29 points in front. I have this rack, so slightly got too many vowels here. Looking for some ways to score well, get rid of these this U and this O kind of thing. One thing that was actually available beforehand was to play Moop, M-O-U-P, above Tampion. With the MIS that you already mentioned in the chat, but Miso is also good, so that actually adds another point to what I was going to do. So I've got 28 points for that. I think that was the best play, keeping AER. And then Kevin plays Axe, AX here. So I did have AER as a leave. I drew EIRT. So, yeah, pretty lucky here. Drew into a bingo. In a spot that's very unlikely to get blocked. There was actually only one playable bingo here. Tyria above Arika, 63 points, which gets me kind of back in the game now, slightly ahead. And as that happens, Kevin plays Verd, B-E-R-D, to retake the lead. But I'm kind of struggling a little bit now with a lack of vowels. And you can see in the pool, the tiles are not great. There are no A's or E's left in this game now. Only 3 vowels unseen to me. Lots of N's. And there are some S's, especially with the Moop hook. It could become useful here. 7 points down, with 4 tiles in the bag. So yeah, there were some very kind of standard, obvious plays here, like Glim or something, some kind of variant of it. Glim next to Quota, which will score a lot of points, or even Grim, if you may not be sure of Glim. Brim kind of keeps too many G's, so you could even play Brig as well. But with one eye unseen, it feels like this spot could, well, it could get used, but your opponent might also not have the eye. And I might want to have some free shots at trying to draw some more vowels. And the easiest way to do that is to just use the biggest spots on the board now through the E of Verd and play something, play 2 of my big tiles off, especially one of my G's. So that kind of leaves either Beg or Meg or something like that. Decided to play Beg here for 23 points. Leave 2 in the bag. So at least it makes it a little bit more difficult in terms of timing for Kevin to maybe go out in 2 turns here. So again, especially with there's no E for Terrier and just dumping 6 tiles and leaving 3 to go out the next turn. It does now mean that it's a little bit more difficult. Beg also blocks some moves like Feg that's still unseen that will score a lot of points. So I felt like this was probably one of the biggest spots on the board where I needed to try and take it out first and also not play off too many tiles. But also gives me a chance at keeping the eye and drawing more vows. So I decided to do this here. And actually in this game, Kevin was kind of running a bit low on time. So I was playing this, not so like overly fast or quickly, but I did have a little bit of urgency to when I played Beg. So he didn't have that much time left. He ends up playing one of the S's with Moops. He played Gust here. So that was his move. Trying to keep his lead. 11 points. I end up drawing no vows here. I drew FN. So one of the 3 N's that were unseen, I drew into one of them. Again, very likely. And I drew the F. So there's actually now not really much in terms of scoring potential for Kevin here. But he's... wait, let me just save this. So you can see that the unseen tiles that he has is INNOS. So he actually can go out on this turn. And I'm 16 points behind. So he has something like nosing with the G of Gust, and he also has Inians through the Eye of Ahi, which again neither of them particularly score very much. So it's actually possible here for me to outrun him, and again because I didn't play with the eye next to the Q, that is now the #1 spot for me to go. Pretty much all the top scoring moves are going to be playing in that corner. In that top left corner, and it's just a matter of does it score enough to outrun what Kevin could do, since I'm a little bit behind also, and can I threaten some kind of outplay for the next turn. And I think I have some wins here that allow me to get home safe and dry. There's only 5 different wins here. And they're all basically a variation of playing somewhere between in D1 to D4 here. Flim, Frig, Glim, Fleur, or Grim. Any of those 4-letter words will play and score enough points. All of them score a lot. I went with the highest scoring play of Flim, keeping G and R, which allows me to play something like Ring or Grin here. I actually didn't see another outplay, but it seems very unlikely that he would block this and not go out. I mean, it seems very unlikely, or very not really much of a point in doing that. You might as well just go out, or just go somewhere else. So Flim was the move here, 45 points, and then here I'm actually up by 34 points now, but I'm keeping GNR, so only 8 points on my rack. He could only score 8 with nosing to go out, which he actually did not do. He actually, if we kind of simulate this, here you can see that actually not going out is actually a point better. So he ends up playing Finos. I don't know if he did the math on that or not, but Finos was actually a point better than going out. And then you can see that any of these 3 4-letter words through the I. So I played Ring here for 5 points. And that was enough to win the game. So I won this game 468 to 451, a 17-point victory to go 3-0. So I've beaten Alec, I've beaten Jason Keller, and I've beaten Kevin Freddy in the first 3 games of the tournament. 3 of the top 6 seeds. I mean, I'm also one of the 6 seeds, so I only have 2 others in the top 6 C's to play in this round robin, and I've already won 3 of them. So I was pretty happy with this this beginning of the tournament. So there was that. Again, I'm not gonna. Again, I said I was not gonna go through too many games that were on. I'm not gonna go through any games that were on stream or any that were kind of blowouts. So I will avoid going through all of those. But that will become more important as I kind of explain what happens very soon. And actually kind of, as I said, it kind of takes out a lot of the games that I actually did play in the end. Because I lost some games, pretty much all the games that I lost at the beginning, first half of the tournament, I actually lost by a lot. It's not a reason because I don't want to go through my losses. It's just that I lost by a lot. Okay, just 1 second. So Itias is asking, what odds does it give to moves like Glim on 10th turn? If I kind of go through this, it actually, I think if I remember right, I don't think that Akondo actually liked my play of Beg. I think he just wanted to take the highest scoring play, just because it's quite, I mean, it's somewhat likely that the bot might play here most of the time. And actually Beg in this situation actually was not the best play. It was actually probably one of my biggest mistakes in this game. With 4 tiles on, in the bag, it's again very likely that the bot, oh no, the bot, sorry, Kevin actually does have an eye and can score a lot of points there. So that was kind of a big mistake to a certain degree. Just not playing something in the top left corner. You can see all 5 of these at the top are better than Beg. So if that's what you were asked after, then yeah, this was a bit of a misstep, if anything. I'm also going to put out a prediction as well, because I want you to get involved with this. How many blanks do you think I had at SPC in the first 28 games? So this is before the finals. 28 games, 56 blanks to draw. How many blanks do you think I actually drew? I'm actually going to start the prediction right now. And you guys can get involved with that. Use your A9 coins wisely. Get predicting and what you think the result will be. 57 blanks. Oh no, I should have brought. Oh no, Brentus should have given me these tiles sooner, and then I would have had 57 blanks. Which would have been nice, but again, I still managed to get to the finals at least, so had to make do with what I had. But again, you guys can get involved. There's 4 different options in terms of how many blanks you think I would have got. Again, bearing in mind, if you wanted to remember that I went 20-8 in this in this division for to qualify for the finals. And in this game that you just saw, I had 1 blank with dowries. And if you really want to know also, with game 1 against Alec, which I won, I didn't have any blanks there. And Jason Keller, where I won by 141, I also had no blanks there. This was actually my first blank of the tournament. I was 1-5 on blanks as of right now, after 3 games. And I'm 3-0. So yeah, very lucky. If that helps, I mean, that's just the first 3 games. We'll go through some more soon. And again, we're not going to go through games where it was complete blowouts. You're going to realize this. My spread in this tournament for the first half of the tournament was not good. So my spread now about just under 200. And the next game against Scott Jackson, I lost by 219 points. So my spread is wiped out. I'm down to minus spread. And no blanks there either. So for 1 out of 7. So 1 and 7. Good evening to Muff with Tentacle. You don't need blanks though to win. That is also true. Okay, we actually have coins on all 4 different options here. So again, keep them coming if you want to get involved with the prediction tonight. Good morning to MKW Joseph. Good to see you here as well. So yeah, lost by 290 to Scott Jackson. Wait a minute, let me make a file over here, which I am to say that I've done. What am I doing? Look here. Game number 5, playing against Erickson Smith. Did get 2 blanks in that one. Won by just 42, so was pretty lucky at the end to draw into a 9-letter bingo. I just extended RE to resealing to the triple for 80 points in the penultimate turn to win the game. Can't blindly trust the sim on that beg turn. You can do Peg and Meccano for D1 players, but we'll never know exactly how this compared to 13G. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell. These are the things where it's like, again, it's now the robot kind of like working it out. And I think it's just mainly just based on how often the eye is going to be on their rack and how often they just play there. You're basically taking the biggest spot on the board. But there's also like, there's also one F. Like the F can play with where Feg is. Again, there's other places for it to go, but if I just play off my eye in that top left corner to start with, and I don't draw any vows, then I'm dead. So I'm like, I don't feel like I can play off my vow. So there's things like that. Again, it's hard to really judge to a certain degree. Game number 6, I played against Lucas Freeman. I won this game by 88 after bingoing 3. Wait a minute, how many times did I bingo here? 3 times. And he actually bingoed 4 times, but I still won. And I got both blanked in that one also. Muffin is asking, what's the AUSTINHO9 stream announcement? That is happening at 10 p.m. US Central Time, so it's actually in about 30 minutes. It's actually going to be happening around when this prediction actually finishes. So you've got about 25 minutes to predict, or if you're sure, by listening to how many blanks I'm telling you now, if that changes your mind, or if that increases your chances of what you think you actually already have predicted. I've already lost count how many blanks I've already said now. But I got 2 blanks in that one also. Game 7 to end day 1 was against Jason Ubika, and I lost to him by 32 points. It was a bit of a tough game here. We actually, funnily enough, we both actually exchanged 1 on both of our turns. So I had the non-bingo of Pantera, and I decided to exchange an A, and trying to work out like how many letters in the bag would actually give me a bingo. I thought there was about more than a 50% chance of getting one, and I did not draw. I kept parent and I drew a K. Did not draw into something. I think it did turn out that Jason actually did have a bingo in his first turn, and there was another bingo that he had also, maybe on turn 2 or 3, but he didn't play it, or maybe didn't see it. I wasn't sure, I think. So arguably, I probably should have lost by a lot more in this one. But I kept it close, but his move of quad, QUOD, for 48 at the end actually proved too much, as I couldn't block his outplay or any high-scoring move in the end game there. So that was a tough loss there to end day 1. So yeah, ended up with 5 and 2 on day 1. It's fine. So day 2 was actually the tournament, was part of the tournament where I'm actually playing the lowest seeds. I'm actually playing the 6 lowest seeds in day 2 plus seed number 11 at the end. So the next 6 games, all the lowest ones, feels like it's an opportunity to get a lot of wins on the board for day 2. And game number 8, I play against Bob Lin, and I lose. So I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, if I go 6-1, I think I'm actually pretty happy with how it goes against these guys. But I'm really like, well, I'm already 0-1. I lose by 124 points. Bob actually bingos twice with with 80-point bingos on moves 2 and 3. And then back-to-back bingos again on moves 8 and 9 with prefects for 92 and then cavities for 83, proving a little bit too much for me in the end. Even with my 2 bingos near the start of the game, could not overturn that deficit despite his 2 blanks. So he had 2 blanks there as well. Game number 9, I play against Sam K. And I actually lose this game by 172 points. So another big loss. Yes, and my spread is now minus 225. So yeah, I was actually behind pretty much the entire game. I managed to play a nice bingo of Thwacker through an H with 80 points midway through to kind of stay in it. But I ended up drawing like 3 R's in one draw on one of them, and then I actually had 5 tiles at the end game. 5 tiles in the bag in the end game, and I was like, there's literally no way to open up the board without playing 5 tiles. And I'm actually about 60 or 70 points behind. I could score like 30 here, just roll the dice, and there are some draws that can allow me to bingo in 2 places. So I open the triple with hurls. Actually draw into a bingo through the H that I just created with hurls. I actually have creased. So it recedes to Cedar, decrees, that kind of rack. But in the end, he actually ends up bingoing out with a 9 timer of anything through that H. Which I actually did not realize. Okay, so I actually did not realize this. I was actually like kind of an autopilot, realizing it was a big score, but he actually underscored his 9 timer by 50 points. I didn't even realize that at the time. So he actually scored his word of anything for 117, not 167. So actually I should have lost by another 50 points. It was actually after the game when we were about to start the next game, he was like, oh, I think we underscored this. Is there anything we can do? And he was asking the tournament director or art or whatever, like, can we change it? And they said that we can't. Once it's submitted, it's too late. Basically, you can only change it if there was if the scores need to be switched around, not if it needs to be adjusted. So my bad on that one. I did not. I just heard a score that was over 100, and I just wrote the score down. I didn't even think about it. But yeah, still lost by 172 points. And again, no blanks in that one either. Okay, and then game 10. So I've actually lost 3 in a row now. I'm going from 5-1 to 5-4. Next game, and this is also, I've just lost to 2 of the lowest seeds in the tournament as well, back to back. So I definitely cannot finish 6-1 in today now on day 2. It's now going to be 5-2 at the very best, if I can at least get 5 wins in a row. But game 10 was against Mohammed Sulaiman. I did manage to eke out a 28-point victory. I did have a bingo near the end with a blank, thankfully. Just the one. 2 bingos each. Pretty close. Couldn't do too much, actually, for some of it. But a win's a win, eh? Happy with that. 6-4. And the game before lunch was against James Porter, the lowest seed in the division. And after like what, the first 4 moves, I was actually already 111 points ahead on a block board. Everything was kind of flying well until he got his bingo down for 74, and then I got my bingo down. So I'm like, okay, it's all good, it's no problem. But then he rattles off these scores in a row. He scores 44 for Juice, 47 for Waifs, 56 for Moz, 45 for Yaks, and 39 for Ninjas, to put him just about level with me going into the end game. And I'm like, whoa, okay, cannot lose this game. Just need to get over the line. And luckily I did. He did actually play 4 tiles at the end, emptying the bag, and then I knew what he had left. And he actually ended up drawing it into a bingo, which but there was only one place for it, and I just needed to block it and score and go out 2. And yeah, managed to win by 7 points. Just the 7 points. But again, a win is a win. I'm now sitting on 7-4 and a spread of minus 190, which is not necessarily normal for me, but I'm just having to just steady the ship and get the job done with some of these games here. The scoring never stopped, exactly, yes. My opponent, exactly right. But that was game 11. Game 12 was actually on the stream against Becky Dyer. Again, some of you may have seen this. Had some kind of rough racks in the middle of the game, and I managed to come back with a star play of Ishia for 45 points in the top left corner, giving me a shot to win. And managed to navigate a tricky endgame with not too much time on my clock either, to again win by 7 points. Just getting the job done. 8-4, spread of minus 183. 1 blank in that game also. And then game 13, I played against Tim Weiss. Big win here for me. Big win. 140 points. 569 to 429. This was helped with my initial bingo. I'm going second, but I end up playing Dilators for 80 with the S, you know, basically where this D is on the board of Verd. So I played Dilators down from the O of Claude with the S, and I draw a natural Frizzados from the bag, which is kind of hilarious because I was like, is this too good to be true? So Frizzados was there, and I was like, is that a word? I was like, I'm pretty sure that's a word, because I was looking at Forzandi to begin with, and I was like, wait, I think there's a bingo with just the 7 tiles. It's one of those things where I was like, this scores 143 points, and it's not a 9-timer. Like, surely this is too good to be true, and I'm just making this up. And I'm just willing this to be a word in my head, but it is a word. So I actually had 223 points in the first 2 turns. I actually followed this up with the word yeehaw, which I think is a new word in CSW. 45 points, and then a bingo again for 70 with Dentural. 2 moves later, I bingo again with Unseated. And then in the final turn, I bingo out with Regional for 62. So again, big win there, 9-4, but still with a minus spread of minus 43. I know I haven't gone through many games yet, actually like explaining some games, but that will change right now because I'm going to talk you through game 14 against Bradley Whitmarsh. Bit of a weird game, actually, but it was relatively close, but we'll start going through that right now. Don't forget as well that you can still get involved with the prediction that is ongoing right now. and figure out how many blanks you think I would have. I actually drew in the first 28 games en route to the finals. I can tell you. Wait, can I even tell you this? Maybe I can. Okay, I can tell you. Up to now, so in the first 13, this is game 14. In the first 13 games, I've actually drawn 9 blanks. Okay, there you go. So I'm a little bit below 50% with that. Wait a minute, I need to actually be going first here. So let me do this again. Okay, and let's put this back here. Okay, I'm gonna reset this. Right, first move. Not the best draw in the world. I think the commentators did say how many blanks you did draw before the final. Maybe it was Robin, but I've forgotten. It did seem more than what you usually draw, though. Maybe. We're going to go through that soon. I feel like that poll wouldn't exist if you drew an average blanks amount. There you go. Maybe. I mean, I did pretty well in this tournament. I mean, you might also think that I just drew a lot of blanks. Or maybe I'm trying to trick you in some way. Well, we'll soon find out. We have about 10 minutes left to make your predictions. So yes, this first move seemed relatively straightforward. It's just going to be divvy here. I have the S, so I'm going to put it like that. Brad plays Reb, R-E-B, above it. So yeah, this is a bit of a weird rack also. I have this, and I'm not really quite sure what I'm supposed to do here, because playing the J is not really doable here. I'm going to have to just try and get rid of the other tiles that I have, so I decided to play Kips and Divvies. And keep my E. Actually, you can see all of these moves don't even use the J, because there's no real way of doing it. So where is it? Here. And it also sets up my S, my other S as well, if I need to do it. Thing is that actually Brad actually challenges this play of divvies. So that's why he challenged it. He did actually explain why he challenged it. So he actually had a bingo through the eye of divvies, and it actually blocked it. But the funny thing is that I think he said the move later. So he played the word plot here. I believe he had plot here, so plotter. He ends up playing plot here. What he actually didn't realize until, like, I think after the turn, he could have just played plotter here, and he actually had a place for it. So yeah, maybe just kind of didn't see that spot, or maybe didn't realize that it fit, which was a bit of a mistake there. And I'm, again, thankful for that, at the very least. And maybe he got himself tangled up with what he should play with Kips, and not really paying too much attention to Reb. So phew, managed to dodge a bullet there at least. So after plot, I have this rack. Kind of a weird one here, because I'm like, what do I do with this rack? I just decided to play Joel, J-O-L-E. 29 points. Just play that. Keep MRS. Actually a pretty good leave here. Gonna score some points. And then Brad actually does bingo with Wretches for 74 points. So I keep MRS. Weird draw here again. Here. I actually draw AA RZ. Which kind of on the face of it kind of doesn't look too bad, but then you're like looking at this extra R of wretches here, and then you're like, oh, what can I actually play here? I can't even play the Z for anything good. I don't have the O for Zamaros or anything, so I'm like, what do I do? And I can't really make this spot count next to Joel particularly well either. So I kind of just play Mara, Marra, for 30 points. Keeps RSZ, and I was like, okay, that looks pretty good. Bit of a shame I can't hit that triple bit harder with the Z, but that's just how the tiles has fell my way in this case, so that's fine. Brad then plays Bo next to Joel, 35 points. And then I have RSZ. I drew FIWY. And I'm like, oh, okay. So this is, and I looked at it and was like, oh, this isn't particularly good. So I don't have anything particularly good up here. At least you have no tile that goes next to OW. I was like, oh, this is not good. So then I started looking around the board, as you do, and then I was like, wait, I have this T here. Could play Wifty, setting up my S. I literally could just play the 4 tiles I just drew. And then I was like, wait, I have Fritz. That scores like a whole bunch more, and I was like, oh, so which one is actually better here? And I was right. You've got to take the points here. Fritz just scores way too much. SWY is a leave here. Isn't too bad because you actually have the W and the Y for Jow or Joy. You're just waiting for like an O or an E to draw into O or OO, or even some other consonant that will still allow you to play there. So I think that the value of the Y and the W actually goes up more than average here than the normal. So you gotta keep those and play Fritz and take the points, which is right. But I don't get a chance to do that because Brad plays Tend next to it for, again, a good score, 36 points. And I have a pretty standard, say standard easy play here. I have this rack, which doesn't look particularly good to start with, until you realize that Tend has just been played. And I can put the Y here, and then the A here, and then I have just one word that plays here, which is yours, for 57 points. Best move, highest scoring play as well. Keeping LX, not too bad. And then Brad just plays Myri here for 18 points. So I keep LX. So this is another weird draw. So 5 tiles. I drew A, G, 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 R. I just literally, I was like, wait a minute, did I literally just draw all 3 Gs in a 5 tile draw? It's like, what? What am I supposed to do with this? So yeah, not ideal by any stretch. And I'm looking to ways to get rid of the G's, and I was like, wait a minute, there is a place here on the board where I can do that. If you generate choices, they're going to be near the top, I think. And I play Gaga for 13 points. This also sets up the X, potentially, as well. So you keep LRX, hope to draw into something with AX here. This seems to do a really good job. So that's what I did. A nice way of getting rid of all 3 Gs at once. And then Brad plays Far in the top right corner. So the scores now pretty close, as you can see. And I managed to draw into something next to Gaga here. I drew it into 2 O's. I decided to play locks here. Didn't really want to keep the didn't want to keep the L and the N and the R all together with lawn. So I decided to play locks. You can see the valuation's about the same, despite being 3 points worse. I felt like locks could also give away a lot more points as a parallel play. At least locks is a bit more difficult to do, and will score a lot less. So I did that. That's 38 points. And then Brad plays net, literally right next to it, so it actually does block it without actually scoring too much. And again, one of those things where I end up drawing this, and it's kind of weird because it's one of those things where you're like, oh, Hawks or Locks. If I did play Hawks, I would have drawn into this. Sorry, I would have drawn an L instead of an H, and I would have Norland. So I would have had Norland to play down here, and actually would have been a perfect draw because I also would have had Cornland onto the sea as well. So I was kind of like in my mind, kind of bemoaning my 50-50 kind of choice of Hawks or Locks, and I was like, the difference between that and what has actually transpired here was that I could have scored like 90 points with Cornland. And instead, I'm now going to play a move for 16 points, which is literally just NOH for 16 points here. And yeah, still not out of the woods yet. Brad plays Kane onto the sea here. And with my with my leave of A, D, and R, I drew C, N, Q. So I'm like, oh, great. It's exactly what I wanted here. Again, bemoaning my luck again because I was like, Cornland, that could have been it. I could have been up and away. And then I could probably deal with the Q later on. It's not a big deal. But here, 30 points in front, and I have the Q. And I'm like, I guess this is where we're at now. We have to deal with this. So yeah. Sad trombone, exactly, yeah. It was not great. So yeah, decided to exchange 4 tiles here. As you can see with the unseen tiles, there's a lot of very good tiles there, including 2 blanks. So I actually did exchange 4. I kept RAN, I think, because the chances of bingoing with the C is probably not that good on this board. So I'm trying to keep more flexible tiles with this here. Also, I will also say that the prediction has now ended, so thank you to everyone that got involved with the prediction tonight. We will see very soon how many blanks I drew in the 28 games in the lead up to the SPC finals. So we'll see that soon. After 13 games, I did draw 9, so we're still waiting for a 10th blank in this game for this one. And we also will have a what's it called? An AUSTINHO9 stream announcement at 10 o'clock, which is actually very soon. So I'm actually going to try and go through the end of this game before I do that. We don't have too many moves left. And then Brad plays AUSTINHO9. Very useful Collins only word there. And the thing is, I keep A and R. Get pretty lucky here actually, despite drawing 3 vowels and a blank. I drew into this, and then I was like, okay. I'm looking for words to play, and I'm like, I can't think of anything that would fit. I can think the only one I could come up with was Aquarian through the E, and I was like, surely there's got to be something better than that. Like, surely there's got to be. Is that you're gonna do pickable 4 time now? Hasta la vista Scrabble. No, you'll soon. I'll tell you very soon. Don't worry. I will tell you very soon. But you can see that Aquarian was one of the 2 possible bingos. There actually wasn't that much that was available better than this. Aquarian is also dangerous because the Q is unseen. Gives away a lot of points above it. But I did find Urinator for 66, which was the move that I played. Alright, so now we're 83 in front. So Brad plays a bingo of his own here with the other blank. So Urinator T and Urinator was my 10th blank in 14 games. And I'm currently sitting at 9 and 4. Mandate for 74 points here. So I'm going to show you that there actually was a much better play, which actually could have changed everything. Is that he actually had Edamata that would have scored more if he just played it underneath. Or he could have played it in the same spot, but as a 4-timer for 99 points. He would have put himself in front with this move, and I don't know what would have happened after that. But you'll see what I actually end up drawing. But it's a 25-point improvement on Mandate, and not only that, I have drawn this from the bag, and you can see what's left unseen to me. C, 4 E's, NQUV. So it's quite possible that he could have been screwed anyway, no matter what. And there's only 2 in the bag from here. But now I was thinking about what is the best way to win this game. Do I keep the U or the I in case I draw the Q? Like, if I draw the Q, I have Qua or some kind of play through the A. Like, do I just not do anything stupid here? Like, I can play something like Deutz or something. Keep UO. But then the problem is, what happens if I draw another U? What if I draw like UV? Then what am I going to do? The problem is also, the other thing is, it's kind of a double-edged sword here, because if I draw the U, then there's no U for Brad to actually use his Q. Again, he can still play his Q off, but he's not going to score anywhere near as much. So if I do Deutz and I have OU, what if I draw 2 E's? It could be the worst of both situations here, because then he would score really well with, I don't know, something with the Q. Kind of negating my move here, and then he has the C and the V to score well with, and I can't really do anything with 4 vowels. So it turns out that I think I actually played the best move here, and I played my highest scoring move of Odious and Mandated for 35 points. This puts me almost, well, about 44 points in front, and I just keep a T. Again, problem is I could draw a Q, could draw a V, could draw a C. I might have to deal with those things. Actually, the C is probably not a big deal in this case, but if I draw a V, I can still get rid of it with my T. Really just mainly... And if I do keep a T, I have 2 places to play cat. Through the A of Urinator, A of Mandated. So I still have places to play. It's not the biggest problem in the world. The problem is if I draw QV or something, then I might be in trouble. But again, he just drew 7 tiles. It's kind of a random draw here. Hopefully I'm just going to draw an E and something good. Hopefully it's not too bad. So I did Odious. This was the best play. And again, highlights the fact that if you play Edamata instead of Mandate, my score here would have been a lot less. I can still play Odious underneath Mandate, which actually still would be the same with Edamata. But doesn't score as much, and does block some lanes for the Q, which would be a bit more difficult for me. And also this A of Urinator would also be blocked with Edamata. But in this case, I played Odious, and well, he actually did not have the N. He actually drew into this, and you can see with my tiles I have ENT left on my rack, so I actually end up drawing really well. Drew NE from the bag, the 2 tiles that he left behind. He plays Qua for 32. So that was that. And then I have my highest scoring outplay of 10 for 24. And that was how the game ended. 432 to 376. Kind of a weird game with some weird draws and kind of a weird board until we start opening up the board further down towards the end of the game. And a potential kind of curveball if he played Edamata instead of Mandate. So I felt a little bit lucky to have got out of this game with a win. And that not only just gave me a 10th win, but put my spread back over 0 at the end of day 2. So 10 and 4, spread of plus 13. Hey, I'm happy with the 10 wins, so that's all good with me. Okay, so we'll kind of move on to the second half of the 28 games in a minute. But first of all, I guess I'm going to have to start doing my stream announcement. So maybe one more. I may need to make this a full screen thing here. Okay. So I did promise that I'd be doing some kind of important stream announcement at 10 p.m. US Central Time. I'm about 5 or 6 minutes late. My bad. Sorry. Keep rambling on. Okay. So what I'm going to tell you right now is that I have been streaming for, I think, I started this channel during COVID, I think February 2022. So it's been going on for about 4.5 years now. Actually, pretty much is almost 4.5 years to the day. We built a big follower base here. We're getting very close to 900 followers, and we have a good set of viewers. Really nice. I'm glad that you guys are all watching whilst we are live. And we actually have a lot of people who watch this back when it's not live. So there's a lot of people that watch this, after the fact. Get a lot of, actually just randomly get a number of followers at just random times of the day or night when I'm not even streaming, which again I'm very thankful for, so thank you for all of that. But yeah, I've been streaming every Tuesday, every Thursday, as you guys already know, pretty much relentlessly for the last 4.5 years. And I know that some of the other more other Scrabble streamers that have been around in the past, say for example like Will, who obviously won World Cup yesterday, so well done to him and for getting his GM title, and also to Ben Schonbrun, who also got his GM title from Wesper after SPC as well, so well done to him, both of which had been streaming pretty regularly in the past as well, but don't do it so much now, or pretty much dormant at this moment in time. And also, I guess, Axotypo, also, who has been relatively less active on Twitch of late. I know that I have been providing more, 2 streams a week for a little while now. But I feel like this is probably the time for it to change. It's not necessarily the easiest decision in the world, but I will still be streaming every week. But my main announcement to you right now is that I will be kind of reducing my streams from now on, for the time being, at least. This is not going to be like this. This might not necessarily be a permanent thing, but I'm going to reduce my streaming to just once a week for the time being. I actually have no tournaments lined up until I think Albany New Year's. So there's actually just kind of like naturally for me a period of time during the year where I actually don't have really any tournaments that are, around for me to play in, and I'm just kind of dormant. So now that the big tournaments have now kind of come and gone for me in terms of the summer, and I guess also for a lot of you who played in these tournaments as well. And I also don't have and also Crescent City Cup's not happening in January either. So after Albany, I actually am not 100% sure when my next tournament's going to be. It could actually be, there could be something going on around that time maybe, or if I don't get around to that, it might be in the next summer. So I might actually only be playing in one tournament for the next 9 or 10 months. So I feel like this is probably a good time for me to just kind of say downgrade. That's probably not the right word. But basically to kind of I don't know what is the word for it. I don't even know. I probably should have come up with some kind of speech or something, but I don't have that. I'm not a big lover of speeches. But basically, yeah, just kind of, I guess rest is probably the right word. But for 4.5 years, we've been doing this relentlessly. I've always been here for you guys. I will still be here for you guys. I'm probably going to be just streaming every Tuesday from now on, and not Thursday. Since I'm not, again, not playing so often now. Maybe focus on a few other things as well, or personal other things that, you know, need to kind of be, you know, more in the forefront of my life, I guess. Which may include pickleball. Yes, that's also true. I can potentially play with my wife, who has now got to go into the office and work rather than work from home. So she doesn't get to play so often. I can now maybe go on Thursday nights after we put the kids to bed and go play. So it does offer a few different options for us. So yeah, I'm not fully going away. I'm just saying I'm just going to be kind of stepping off the gas a little bit on the streams. And yeah, I mean, that's basically it. It's not necessarily I wouldn't want to make this, I don't want to necessarily hype this up too much, but it's been 4.5 years, and I feel like it's time to kind of go a bit more easy on it. And maybe if there's other people that wanted to stream as well, I know that Ancient Cosmographer is regularly streaming also, as you all will know, either Tuesdays or Thursdays as well. So there will still be something for everyone to watch, but it's just going to be one stream a week from me for the time being. Again, I might kind of bump this back up to twice a week at some point in the future, but for now, it will just be every Tuesday. So I hope you guys will understand, but I'm still going to be around. So I'm not completely going cold turkey on you guys just yet. But you know, just don't expect me to be here all the time. I'll just be here every Tuesday. Maybe my wife would like to stream now. That's also possible. Yeah, I mean, I have the stream set up here. We can make something happen if she wants to, but I think she prefers watching like Love Island or something. Or the Kardashians, or just falling asleep. But yes. Nork says, totally fair. Thanks for all the content so far. I'm looking forward to future streams, even if less frequent. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And also sorry to hear about the return to office change for my wife. That is true. My wife saying my pickleball playing has been sadly neglected. That is true. Also, she had I think a new job has been going on for the last maybe 6 weeks or so. And I think we've only managed to play maybe like 3 or 4 times in that time. Compared to before that, it was literally like almost every day or every other day. I mean, there'll be other things that we'll be doing too, so it's not just going to be that, but that's just going to be one of the things. So yeah, that was basically my stream announcement. I mean, I didn't want to necessarily big it up, but I feel like it's probably big enough news because it's going to be a change for not just me, but also for you guys. So yeah. Anyway, I guess we'll just get back to the games, shall we? Alright, let's get back to the games. Alright. So thank you for that. Thank you for listening, putting up with that for now. But that is a change that will be happening basically imminently now. I mean, not imminently, it's not the right one. I mean, from now on, basically. So I'll be streaming on Tuesday, and then just every Tuesday from now on. Okay. We will move on. I took a whole 8 minutes to basically just say I'm streaming once a week. Yeah, I mean, also it's partly to do with my sleep schedule. I do need to sleep more. So yeah, that is also another part of the reason. My Samsung watch does not like my sleep schedule sometimes, so I do need to pay attention to that, since I'm not a spring chicken anymore, you know. I need my sleep, and I get tired in the middle of the day. I might just take a nap in my seat here. Have you considered sleeping less and streaming daily? I mean, I could I could you know, be a full-time streamer instead, but then I might not be able to afford trips abroad anymore. I believe Macondo over Samsung any day of the week. I mean, normally I would also do the same. I'm in the same boat, but that is I mean, my sleep schedule is not that bad, but it's just like it could be better. So I'm just saying that. Okay. Second half of the tournament now. Game 15. I played against Charles Ranke, Ancient Cosmographer. Very lucky in this game. 4 bingos, both blanks. He also plays a phony as well, which compounds things. I win by 205 points. Spread now at plus 218. Game 16, I play against Joel Wapnick, former world champion. I actually lose this game by 92. Reveal the phony. Oh man. Well, what was it again? Oh man, I need to remember. Oh wait, he played. Man, I don't want. He's not even here. Is he? He's not even here to defend himself. Maybe that's a good reason to say this phony. Okay, well, since he's not here, I will say it. He put an S on ebriate. Ebriate? Doesn't take an S. Which he's actually said after the game that he just put it down. I mean, he did take a few minutes to think about it. And then he just said, when you actually held, he told me when you held, then it only dawned on me. I was like, wait a minute, ebriate doesn't take an S. And I held it and was like, am I just imagining it doesn't take an S? And I was like, it takes a D, but I was like, this doesn't look right. I gotta challenge it. So then I knew what tiles were in the bag. Couldn't quite muster out a way to get a bingo because the board was blocked and I bingoed everywhere already. So just kind of found a nice out and two to win by over 200. Game 16 with Joel. I was in front at the start with Atheis. And then he plays 4 turns in a row here. Troclier, 80 points. Bromelin, 89 points. 4-timer of Freeway, 64 points. And then another bingo with a blank. Ergodic, 63 points. And whilst he did that, I played Epizoit for 88 to keep myself at least about a bingo behind, but then he ends up blocking the bingo lane just as I was about to bingo. End up losing by 92. So yeah, that was a bit annoying. But the next game that we'll analyze here, I think, is against Thomas Ranke. Salustitum. We will get this game set up and we'll have a look at this one a little bit closer. Let's see. This is game 17. Okay. Reset that. This is game 17. After 16 games, my blank count is at 13 out of 32. So we'll continue with this game here. So Thomas plays Fluid on the first turn. I actually am pretty lucky because I actually had the Q and an I, so that actually was my best play of QI, 45 points. Then he plays, after a little bit of thinking, he plays a little bit of time here. He plays Reply for 20, which is kind of a bit fishy here because he spent a long time on this move. So yeah. This is mostly good sleeper. Sometimes night one isn't good just because you're getting used to new surroundings. Yes, true actually. In Albany, AC was not working in our room for like 2 days, the first 2 days. Then once we got a room that actually had an AC working, then we were all good. The hotel actually gave us a box fan, which, you know, kind of does a job to kind of, you know, circulate the air and things, but it wasn't quite the same as AC. It was like 79 degrees or something in our room or something. It was something weird like that. Anyway. I drew into Breathe, which would have played if Thomas didn't play Reply or played something a bit nicer, but Breathe does not play now on this board, so I now play the word Blather through the L of Reply. Top move here, 48 points, and then he plays Yo here, which is kind of a bit weird because I was like, why didn't he just play Oi? He would have got 3 more points. And I was like, is he just trying to block the S, or what is he trying to do here? I wasn't 100% sure on what the what it was. I probably should have asked him actually, but I didn't. But yeah. Okay, so kept an E on my rack. I drew into a bunch of vowels here actually. I drew A-E-O-U-W blank, so that's another blank. You clip this and send him a Oh man, this is why I don't stream. I'm not going to stream. I'm streaming half the time now because I'm just going to get clipped and get crucified for what I say when all the people I'm talking about are not listening to this. Not that they're not here to defend themselves, you know. Yeah. Anyway, I have this rack. I play OE. I think is my best play here. High scoring play as well. 31 points, keeping OU blank. Not too bad here. He plays Railman for 36 through the L. So I keep OU blank. I draw pretty much the perfect rack. Pretty much. Clipped and shipped. Okay, time to end stream, guys, okay? Before I start saying too much now. A-E-R blank. So I actually have both blanks now. Not too bad. So yeah, I do have both blanks in this game. I was trying to find some places to play a bingo here. I'm like, where's the highest spot to play a bingo? And I was like, there's just a lot of things with 2 blanks. But it was like, maybe it's just the F. And I did find Furinos pretty quickly. There is actually slightly higher or slightly better options than Furinos, which are the 2 other options here. Fumarole or Baruch. Both slightly better options, not putting the S out in space as well. And Farouche does not put the O next to a double either, so slightly better. All put the E in the triple though anyway. Not much of a difference. Fumarole also scores 1 point fewer. But Furinos is one of the high scoring players, so I played that. Didn't think too hard. I was like, just get it done. This also gives back the Z, which Thomas had. He played Zip for 69. Not only that, I have this rack. I actually have the X, so I'm actually now using the other hotspot of Railman to play Dex for 54 points. I was actually kind of tempted to play Get It here to block the triple and also potentially keep the X for next time, but again, too much danger if that spot doesn't stay open. That 54 point spot is, or 50-ish point spot is going to go up in smoke. Better just take my points now and deal with the rest of it later. That's what I did. But actually he plays web fed here. Really nice play. 45 points. And then I have this rack here. So I played, so this was kind of stupid once I kind of looked at it. I played Do It here. I played DUIT. And I was like, this is pretty good. I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, grand scheme of things, it's not that bad. But then I was like, when I looked at the like best moves, and I was like, why is this move so much worse than the best move? And I was like, oh, the best move was just Gut. I could have just played Gut. Like, why did I not see that? I just didn't even see the U there. Or was I not even paying attention to that spot? I was like, what? How did I miss that? So easy. I mean, again, not the biggest of differences, but still a bit of a misstep. But yeah, I don't know. Either way, had the right idea with Do It, I guess. Close enough. 23 points. And then Thomas plays Horse without the E. He plays Horse and Zips here. So here we are. And my rack did not particularly improve by much after that either. Almost actually having the same rack again. So I have this rack here. I think instead of the D, I just had another E, so it's basically the same thing. I actually played Tegu for 11 points. I'm up by a tiny bit here, not by much. Did not want to play anything open to triple, and I could play Tegu this way as well. But I actually did not want to potentially open up a 6-tile kind of spot down here. So I actually took a 1-point sacrifice and played Tegu this way. It's a bit more defensive. I still go up by 40 points. I'm up by 40 on this board where there's like nowhere to really go. So I actually thought that 40 points was actually not that bad. And it really doesn't give much away at all. So I was actually thinking that the 1-point sacrifice was better here, which is fine. And then Thomas plays OO next to Do It. So here is the main part of the game here. This is what we need to talk about. I kept EIT. And I drew C, I, O, O. That's what I drew. And I was not particularly pleased with this draw either. Especially after Do It, Tegu. I'm just kind of struggling with awkward vowels. And just low scores. I'm like, what am I really supposed to be doing with this rack, or what am I supposed to be trying? What is my objective here? Because I think that he is probably got an ass. I think because he played Horse, getting rid of one of these asses, and he's just opened up an S bingo lane, which doesn't exist on this board before. So the question is, do I try and block this somehow? Which doesn't really look like it's possible to do. Particularly well here. And if I can't do that, then what do I do otherwise? So I was thinking of things like Kui, but I was like, do I really want to open up the board some more when my lands kind of suck? Probably not. And then I was like, wait a minute, I actually have a space here to play something like Co's. I was like, oh, that actually does kind of score pretty well. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then I was like, why don't I just play Coos? I was like, why don't I just get rid of the O? And the C is here. Like, surely this C is not really going to really be used that often. I mean, he's probably going for a bingo here, and this is something that's, you know, a move that I should be playing. So that's what I did. I played Coos. And the thing is that Coos is actually not a word. So this is actually, I think this is actually the only phony that I played in this tournament. And it doesn't get challenged. Thomas just continues as normal. And it stays on the board. So, jobs are good. All good. We're good. And I feel like I made this mistake before with Coos. So, it's just Co's with one O. Coos. Coos with a Z instead of the S. Yeah, and it's Norcus saying Kusun as well. There's a lot of words that are kind of like this. Wow, I did not know the meaning of Coos. I did not know that. But good to know. Good to know. So there were a lot of words like this. And I think I've got this word mixed up in the past. And I think even things like boos is also a word, like booze. Booze and boost also mean the same thing, I think. And I get things like Bosie, B-O-S-I-E, and C-O-S-I-E all mixed up. I was like, is it Bosie or is it Boyce? I was like, I get those words mixed up all the time. So it's just a combination of just a whole bunch of things, and then kind of like, wait, which is the word that's not a word? And it didn't even come to my mind that it wasn't a word until I actually analyzed this word and analyzed this game. So I got away with one there. Notable. So yeah. Now here, yes, jobs are good, exactly. It's a well-known saying. But Thomas kind of, I guess, bricks his fish and plays AN next to a we, opening up the N column now. I'm still 41 points in front. So I end up, oh, that's not it. That's not what I want to do. So I have IIT. And I'm turning over my tiles, and I'm like, wow, I'm drawing all this junk here. I just drew EKTT. And I'm like, what? What is this? I'm just now, like, all my other racks have been absolutely terrible. And now it's going the other way in terms of vowels. It's now gone to like T's. But yes, once I looked a bit harder, I was like, wait a minute. As Blue Fuzzy just said, I have Tectitic. And that's what I played. 95 points. Not only that, I get a +5, so it's 100 points for Tectitic. Probably one of my best players for the tournament. Alongside the move of Frizzados against Tim Weiss for 143 that I mentioned about. These two are definitely my best players of the tournament. Although it did feels a little bit kind of you know, wrong because I ended up playing it after playing a phony, but you know, it is what it is. Got 100 points from it. Luckily, I'm now pretty far in front. We'll kind of go through this game a little bit faster here. He bricks his draw again with Anne. Oh wait, I don't think he played it like that. So he played Anne like this. He actually drew us AN again. There's Anne in the top corner. I actually don't draw any vowels on the next turn, but I do draw 2 S's. And with this Anne at the top, I decided to block this with just Cam. Because you can see there's lots of A's, there's lots of I's unseen. If I could probably draw into something like savings, potentially. So I was thinking about things like that. And nicely, Moo does not take a hook, so that top corner is now kind of dead. So that is that. And then he plays off the A here, opening another bingo lane in row 3. I'm almost actually draw into savings. But I didn't quite draw 2 vowels. I drew A, then L. And the thing is now, the highest scoring letter in the bag is now a J. And I'm like, is he setting up a J bingo across the A here? I'm like, why would he be doing that? I mean, because he's also a long way behind. Like, even a J bingo would not score enough. Like, surely he would probably just play JA. And I was like, is this really something that he would do? Or is he just opening a bingo lane, just like, full stop, like, just open something? Subconsciously, you knew the phony wasn't good, but it was just so you could get further future bingos down. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll go with that explanation, I think. That sounds like a good one. I like that. I like the explanation. So yeah, I can't really block everything at the same time. Decide just to take out the left side of the board here, play Vangs. Just put the S on the end of it. And just make it harder to bingo parallel to it. That's fine. 2 in the bag here. And then Thomas actually plays the word Angries to bingo here. So actually no J. And then I have this rack. Pretty straightforward here. You're playing onto the triple through the end. So Jins or Jin, either one is fine. I played Jin here for 41. And then he plays Vo, his highest scoring outplay for 10 points. So I end up winning this game by 119 points, thanks to Tectitic, 95 plus 5 points, and the 2 blanks. So, interesting game there. That's game number 17. There's that. So we will move on. So we actually go to a 12-5 record with that. Game number 18 was against again former world champion Wellington Jigering. This was actually on the stream. This was the game just before lunchtime. It is also the second to last game before the round robin ended. So yeah, end up winning this game 542 to 461, 81-point victory, 13-5 now going into the lunch break on day 3. 10 games to go in to decide the finals. So luckily for that one there, 1 blank in that game. Game 19 was against Josh Castellano. This was the last game of the round robin stage. End up losing by 61 points. He had 2 bingos early on in the game, and I couldn't quite come back despite his 92-point bingo in the middle of the game also. So yeah, very tough game. Couldn't really do much about this one actually, I think, in the end. And then we have game 20 against Alex Seaholm. So this is now the start of the repeat stage of the tournament. And I think we'll actually go through this one. Yeah, well, I think we'll go through it. Yeah. All right. So we'll just reset the scores for you and everything here. Okay, so wait, I need to double check where the first move was played. He ends up playing the word X'd. I just need to double check what position it was in. This is game 20. Okay, so he plays X'd here. I mean, not there. With the first E on the star, like that. I don't actually have particularly good tiles to start with. Actually have this. So I have things like folio or folioed, Louis. But I actually just decided on playing Philo for 28, just a direct underlap here, which I think is something that McConnell really likes here. So I did that. It's best play. Alec plays Moa underneath Philo. And then I actually draw into a bingo here. Oh, wait a minute. I did not commit this. Here it is. I have this rack. I saw the bingo pretty much immediately. The bingo is non-life, which actually doesn't play on the board until Moa comes down. Luckily, I have the hooks for it, the I or the N. And there's only one way to hit the triple, the double word square, so I play the high scoring play here. 78 points. Very quickly, Alec plays a really stylish play, a very notable play here. He plays actually plays a 7-tile parallel play, bingo, of Unsated next to it. For 90, this is actually his highest scoring bingo by a long way, so a really nice find. Again, not surprising that someone of Alec's quality finding the highest scoring bingo. Even more impressive that he finds it so fast as well. As long as you find it, then you know it's the best one. So 90 points for Alec here. Actually draw into a really good set of tiles post bingo, but I have the Q, which actually probably isn't all that bad because I can score really well here with Cat for 45, which seems like a no-brainer here, keeping EIRS, scoring well. Alec then played Baith through the IT. And with my EIRS leave, EIRS, I end up drawing ERT. So gives me plenty of bingos here in a few different spots. Decide to play retries for 70, which I think is here. I did not want to open up the board at the top of the board here. These are all scored 2 extra points. Too many floating tiles for my liking. Would rather just kind of keep it a little bit more under wraps here with 70 points. Doesn't expose any vowels next to hotspots I'm playing, and from the I to the triple. It's a bit more difficult to do, so that's kind of works out well. Alec then plays Roji for 22. I draw into some very high scoring tiles here as well. So I have this rack, kind of not great, but with the eye of Roji sitting there, I actually have a very good scoring play of Wiz for 38, keeping my Val on my rack as well. This kind of also helps Alex next turn kind of rack up the scores. He plays Soka underneath Wiz, which doesn't look like all that much, but it scores a whopping 57 points. And it puts him almost level with me, actually. And then the next turn, it's actually not far off what I had. I had this rack, almost Deviator. Doesn't quite fit, but I play the best move here, getting rid of the V. and scoring relatively decently on this board. I played Div for 24 and Vexed. This actually does kind of block off some bingos that would have easily have been played, either next to Axed or Raf or F, sorry. So that kind of does pretty good things. And then he plays Burned for 25 points. He ends up burning a bunch of tiles here. Doing that. But in the meantime, I end up drawing into a bingo. So I did keep AORT. I draw EL blank. And I can now bingo. I'm slightly in front anyway, but I play something. I now actually have a lot of time on my hands to figure out what to do. There's lots and lots of different options here in terms of scoring things here. You can see there's lots of moves that open up even more. 68 points. 68 points is actually the highest scoring bingo that I could play, which feels kind of weird because it feels like I probably should be scoring more than this. But I wasn't particularly too hot on the idea of opening up the left side of the board. So if I play something starting with the R or even something with the U, I think that helps me a lot more. Keeps things a bit more blocked with the tiles in this in this top area of this board. It doesn't expose anything. And you can see like all of this part of the board here, like everything over here is now going to be like hard to reach. So I was thinking about what the best play is here. But then a lot of the things that I thought about could actually still give bingos back, potentially, with bingos like parallel to anything that I play here. And actually, I played the best move. There's a lot of different options here, but I actually played the best move according to Macondo. I was actually kind of surprised. It kind of makes sense to a certain degree, but I actually took an even bigger point sacrifice here. I actually played Rectoral for 64, putting the C in this spot. As bingos now with the U is not really possible, it squeezes the possibility of bingos above or below the bingo now to kind of having to fit in a very specific spot, and actually playing to the triple with the blank C there is actually not particularly likely whatsoever. It's like this pretty much gives away nothing. So I really liked how what this really did, and again, marginally, it was actually the best play. 64 points. I'm now up by 75. Alec then plays Gayan. How many blanks are we at now? Good question. Since that Alec has played, we actually went 1-on-1 on blanks on this game. This is game 20. I can tell you that we are at 18 out of 40 right now. So I'm actually still slightly below 50%. And we still have another 8 games after this to kind of tally up. So he plays Gayan here. And then I have this rack. I have this rack now. And as I said, all this stuff in this left side of the board, not really accessible whatsoever. There's like not really anything like you can do bingo wise. There's the B at the top, which is probably the most open tile to play through. But again, you're having to bingo with a B, and then if you do that, you're opening up at least 2 triples. Well, potentially 3, but this one down here as well. So it's probably not going to be that great to really do that. The letters left are not particularly great either. There's like a nice spread of tiles, but only one of pretty much everything. I was wondering about potential like bingos that could maybe fit through the J, like Jarosite or something like this that could still fit. So things like that can still work, but again, with there being only one tile of a lot of those letters is very unlikely. And even things with a W doesn't really score anything. So the question really now was like, do I just keep things blocked? Do I potentially just take my highest scoring on my equity play, which actually I saw pretty quickly, which was actually pig out, keeping the IV. Like, am I supposed to do something like this now, opening up that space? Like, surely that shouldn't be something I should be doing. Or should I be worried about potential openings that might happen on row 1? Like, if he just plays like something through ER and then opens up something at the top of the board, like with a hook, that I may potentially not have, then now I'm going to have to start chasing or start getting real defensive. So I was actually kind of worried about that. So what I decided to do here was actually to try and take out that possibility. It does actually kind of small sacrifice in terms of what I leave in my rack, but I decided to play Pervo here. So that way there's no hooks for Pervo. You can't even possibly play anything up here now. Like, you can't set yourself up for anything. That is not a possibility. This gets rid of the V. This actually scores 20 points, which actually isn't that bad. Puts me up about 60 points in front again. I know I keep 2 eyes, and there are still 2 eyes on the scene. That was kind of a danger here. But in the grand scheme of things, there's still a lot of tiles on the scene. The chance of me drawing another eye, probably not that great. So that should be fine. Happy with this, at least, after a bit of thought. Then he plays Coy, C-O-Y. He plays it here. 25 points. I don't know if he's just trying. I guess he's just trying to score some points here. Maybe also setting up some kind of high-scoring play here, which I don't really know what it would be, since there aren't that many tiles that play in this spot here, or at least no high-scoring tiles. But wait, I need to actually just change the rack here. So with Pervo, I actually drew. I had GIIT. I ended up drawing CEW. It was actually not too bad. I drew another E, which is something that's quite nice. I think you thought you were gonna say then he played Jaros. Well, you could still do that. It's still possible with the tiles left, but actually there are no O's now. So that actually was now off the table. So then I was thinking, I was like, is that really what he's doing? I mean, there's now, sorry, with the tiles that are left, you could actually play the M here and get like maybe 30 odd points or so. That could be his best chance of winning. But here, I actually thought that actually keeping the C was actually very useful. I need to keep the C to block off anything that might get opened up. So I didn't really want to just use the E like that I had, but in terms of like just trying to stay like an arm's length away in terms of on the score, I decided just to play twice here for 21, which is one of my highest scoring plays. Also kind of takes out the B floater as well. There were actually some things like plumbers or plumite that could actually still play above or through the B, so or plumbing, something like that. There's a lot of words that actually can play through there. So this actually now takes out that spot too. My Quackle is not updated, that is true. And to be honest, I don't really use Quackle for analysis. I'm using it more for illustrative purposes than anything, because I think it's fine here, and you can quickly simulate things very quickly, just for in case you guys want to do anything or want to show anything. So yeah, good evening to Hopeful Matter, good to see you here too. And then Alec now, wait, let's see. So twice has come down. He actually just plays off the L. So here we go. I was like, here we go. Okay, now we're talking. It's time for him to open up the board. And the letters left now, very good. You can see the tiles that I'm seeing. 4 tiles in the bag. This looks very good. There's still the G and the S that could go here. Luckily, I have kept the G and also drawn the P as well. So I have some things that can go there. But I really don't want him fishing for another time here. So I actually played Gump, G-U-M-P, and Gled. The only hook I think to Gled is Ogled, is the O, and there are no more O's left. So I actually ended up emptying the bag. Yeah. And it was actually only at this point where I realized there's one space on the board that I actually didn't notice or didn't really consider. And we're looking at the tiles that are left now. It was actually this O of Roji's. There's actually a possibility to actually play some underlapping move through the O. Like an IEST play or something. I mean, I know I just drew the T, but or IES or something that could fit under here. I didn't really think about it at the time because I was wondering, like, where is he going? Like, what's he trying to do? And it was only at this point. I feel like I probably should have noticed that earlier or gave it more thought, but I think that maybe the tiles left were not particularly good enough for me to seriously, like, give this too much consideration. So I decided just to empty the bag here and play Gump. Don't let him have another chance at doing anything funny. It turns out this was actually his rack. Here. He actually had dingers, which would have played in that same spot. I guess it was only when I looked at the rack now, I was like, oh, there's actually something that maybe could have fit there. I don't know if there was anything, but either way, he plays Grim for 21 points. And I have this rack, not particularly great, but I play Toric for 16. And then he has Ned's highest scoring outplay, 13 points, and I end up winning by 51. 422 to 371. That was game 20. 14-6 now, so I'm in pretty good shape. I feel like at this time I was kind of thinking about how many games you may need to qualify for the finals. You need to be in the top 2 after 28 games. And I was predicting before the tournament maybe it is going to be 19 or 20 games. Based on the fact that a lot of people have been, a lot of the top players already, it could actually be as low as 18 potentially. And I'm already at 14 with 8 games to go, so I was actually in pretty good shape. Also with Alec, it's also notable that I think I ended his like 13-game winning streak or something like that with this game here. So he had ended up being I think it was 1-6 on day 1, and then got to 13-6 before this game. So we were tied actually on wins before this, and I managed to get back in front here. Yeah, I was happy to end his winning streak on that front. So that was game 20, and then the last game of day 3 was against Charles Rinke once again. And I got lucky once again. I won by 153. This goes with my 205-point victory earlier in the day, at the first game of the day. And yeah, I got 5 bingos. Pretty much everything that everything that he did basically just gave me something, and I was just like, this is so one-sided. But yeah, I got very lucky. 1 blank, 5 bingos, another 150 odd points to my spread. So finished day 3, 15-6 plus 469. Much better than the 13 spread that I had at the start of the day. Another 5-2 day, 3 5-2 days in a row. And that was that. So I actually ended day 3 1.5 games clear of the next player. And then we have day 4. So, wait a minute. Wait, this is not day 4. Oh yes, day 4. Yes. With just 6-7 games to go. On stream to start with against Josh Castellano. Lost this game by 60. Started off really well, but then he ended up bingoing 3 times in a row mid-game to basically take the game here. Despite my 2 bingos at the end in a row, I still lost by 60, so couldn't really do too much about that, but just made the chasing pack closer, in fact. No blanks in that game either. Hi to Exotypo, good to see you here. Good evening to you. We have, for those that may have missed my stream announcement an hour ago, I did reveal that I will be streaming just 1 time a week from now on. This might just be a somewhat I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to be streaming 1 time a week on Tuesdays from now on, not Thursdays as well. I'm going to be scaling back a little bit since I have no tournaments coming up. I've got a few other things going on, so that's my stream announcement. If you were not here to hear it earlier on. Okay, so next game, game 23, which was on the stream as well, against Jason Keller, won by 28. This was actually the game where this was actually probably one of the worst games that I actually have ever played. When I have actually been analyzing my games in recent times. The Jason Keller game was the best in my opinion. I think Macondo pretty much thought that I sucked, like really bad, like really bad. When I went through it, I was like, I'm just missing the same thing over and over again. I was like, it was unreal. So like, I will tell you now that my average like elo for this tournament was about 2,000. I think it was actually at 2,000 exactly. And this was actually by far the lowest elo that I've actually had or actually seen myself play. It's one of those kind of like nightmare games where it was like, wait a minute, I'm just making a mistake every single time here. Like, how am I not seeing what the best play is? Like, I just need to look around or just think a little bit harder here. It wasn't even like I was like unsure of anything. I just didn't even see it, which was kind of wild. But the elo for this game was actually about 1,300. It was that bad. I'm not saying that anyone who is 1,300 is bad, but for someone who is supposedly rated 2,100, that is a pretty bad high fall from grace here. So yeah, it was not great. But yes, as MKW Drove is talking about, I played the word lictor. It's another alternate spelling for lighter. And actually, at the time, when I played it, I will be honest, I did think about what hooks there were. And I was like, I swear there's a hook for this. I'm just thinking about it. And I was like, I wasn't like thinking too hard. And I was like, there's no S. There's no G. There's no P. So like, what else could it be? Like, maybe I'm just imagining it. And I was like, okay, well, I'm just imagining it. And I was like, okay, never mind. And then I just missed, and then I drew both Fs and missed Flicker both times. So I ended up losing a lot of equity points, a lot of win percentage on that, just because I kept missing it. And yeah, Jason got tilted by the fact that I didn't play the F hook multiple times, but got over the line at least. 28 point victory on that one. Game 24, played against Kevin Fraley. I was always just slightly one move in front every time. Whenever he caught up, I managed to pull away. and I got my 3 bingos and 2 blanks down, so end up winning that game by 87 points for game 24, putting me at 17 and 7. I'm kind of knocking on the door of the finals at this stage. One more game before lunch, which was against Joel Wapnick, and it was another win of 83 points. No blanks against Joel, but 2 bingos midway through the game, or when I was already about a bingo-ish ahead, poured into a bingo-ish ahead. Really made the difference here. So, yeah. 25 games, I'm up to 18 and 7, and I'm actually pretty much over the line. I just need to win one more game. Axel says I played a good tactical game against Matt O'Connor, and it was my worst ring of the tourney. It's not always accurate. I thought when you drew it the second time, it was a second chance and you'd finally see. Oh man, I know. Oh, it's like when I watched it back, I was like, one of those kind of out-of-body experiences of just like, wait a minute, what am I? It's like I'm watching someone else play. I'm like, did I really do that? Like, how did I miss that? Twice. Tilt strat, yeah, exactly. It actually kind of worked. He told me afterwards when we were outside, he said, yeah, that actually really tilted me. And he was talking about other instances where it happened to him, when other people have done that to him. And he said, yeah, that was tilting then also, so I guess it worked. You probably win more games when you miss hooks like that and keep playing them elsewhere, so your opponents will just steam and play with me. Yes. Macondo should go easy with me on the win percentage here. But I've got a few extra percent here from the tilting strategy. Yeah, that was a bad miss though. Shouldn't be missing those. Anyway, after lunch, decisive games here. I think this game was on the stream against Alec. He ended up winning by about 103 points. You got 2 bingos. You got both blanks. I had one bingo actually. He had 2. Couldn't quite catch up. I just had some very awkward tiles, and I actually had bingos on the last 4 turns, and I couldn't play them anywhere. And he just blocked the spot at the right time. So, yeah. I mean, again, even with those bingos, maybe I wouldn't have won anyway. But it's a little bit annoying. Couldn't quite convert on that first occasion, but still have 2 more chances to do it. Oh, WJ is saying, I thought that was a Red Bull at like 11 PM. No, it's just a Spindrift. It's just a fizzy, sparkling water drink. I actually have a, I don't know if you can even read it. Yuzu Mandarin, which is a fun flavor at least. Since I'm talking so much, my throat's hurting a bit. I don't normally talk this much. Game 27 was against Charles Ranke. Off the stream. Just noting that I beat him game 15 by 205 points. Game 21 I beat him by 153 points. I was like, this really needs to not be the moment where he, the luck kind of evens itself out. I just need to get over the line one time. Just do this one time. One win. Get to 19 wins. I'm on 18 and 8. One win, and I'm good. And luckily, I win by more than 150 points. I won by 159. So it did not even out at that moment in time. Very lucky to win. Had Surtaxed and Suilin as bingos. Only bingos playable on those 2 moves. I actually wasn't 100% sure of Surtaxed. I was like, I'm pretty sure this is a word. But I was like, I don't think I've ever played this word before. And I don't know if I'm just thinking of some other word that ends with axe, that puts an ed in the end of it. But I was like, it has to be this. Like, I think this is it. So I played it, no challenge, it's a good word. And then Suilin, also good. Also, onto that SO of Surtax as well. So, again, I was like, is this a word I'm just making up? Like, again, I don't think I've ever played this word before, and it looks so weird, but I'm pretty sure this is a word. And I was like, I don't remember it taking an S, so am I really just imagining this? And I was like, okay, I think this is right. I mean, I don't know what else I'm thinking of here, so I just played it. It's good. Followed up with Pot G's with a blank, 4-timer, 60 points. And then to completely block off the entire board, I play Theatric for 80, putting myself into a 170 point lead midway through the game, and it was just a matter of just blocking up the board, which is already blocked anyway, and just seeing out the game. And that got me my 19th win and got me over the line and Gibsonized me for the final game, which again was not on stream. It was actually Josh and Alec who are playing for the second place, or just a place into the finals. I could still technically finish second if I lose the next game and if Josh wins. So we're going to actually just go through game 28. I was actually Gibsonized, and then I'm playing against no other than Wellington. So I'm like, okay, well, let's just see how this goes. But we'll go through this game because it was actually a very high-scoring game, which was notable here. So yeah, we'll go through it. Why not? It's the last game we're going to go through tonight. Again, we're not going through any games that were streamed, so we're going to show you games that... Oh wait, let me just do this again, sorry. Also, did you not know obiism? I did know obiism. I was just like, I haven't seen this word for so long, so I actually just wasn't sure if I was just imagining it again. And it was like, it's only 5 points. I've got to... I can check it, it's fine. I probably challenged a few words that I probably shouldn't have challenged, but it was one of those things where, like, it's 5 points. In the end of the day, like, it's not really going to make a difference. But it would make a difference if it came off the board, potentially. So I'm like, I might as well just roll a dice here. I'm like 97% sure it's good, but let's just make sure. And 5 points is nothing in the end of the day. You might as well. Okay. Oh, this is not right. Wellington to go first in this game. This is a bit of a barnstormer, so let's go through this real quick. So first move, Wellington played Gormy for 30 points. I have HINOSSU. I'm like, oh man, I need, like, there's a whole bunch of things like cushions, cushions, and I was like, wait, none of these letters are the right letters. But then I was like, the G's here. I have the G. It gives me the only playable bingo of housings for 63, which is what I play. Wellington doesn't take much time to play Hard Oaks here as well. So this is 86. He said he could have played Darksome onto the M, not open stuff up, but he thinks he should do this anyway. Scores a bit more. Next move, I have this rack. I have a bingo of Bastide as a 7. Lots of virtue bingos to play here. Did take a little bit of time to figure out if there was anything better than Bastides. Or Dorbiest or something. Anything through the M, something like that. To make sure I'm not missing anything. But yeah, they are the best players here. I decided to play Bastides here. 72. Wellington then plays Surreal. It's actually not a bingo, but he takes it out the triple. And then next rack, I have this now. Looking for things, and I was like, oh, I have the Z here. This is nice. If he didn't play that, I'd actually have something like Zori or Azote. Yeah, for like a billion points. Also have things like ZA or something. And then I was like, wait a minute, I actually have a bingo through the M. I have amortize, which is actually slightly more dangerous because it takes a lot of hooks. But I think it's still best to actually just do this. To have 3 bingos to start the game. Wellington then plays a Vow. For 26 points. And then I have this rack here. I was like hoping there's some kind of bingo that I can make here to continue the streak. But I didn't see anything. I didn't see any bingo here. I actually ended up finding the best play of Obi for 29, keeping Rail, very strong play. And then Wellington now comes up with a bingo of his own. He plays Wattages onto the E of Amortize. And after 5 turns, I have bingo 3 times in a row, and I'm still not very far in front. And my rack is now this. It's not particularly great. But I do find the highest scoring play of Lazier for 39, keeping IU. So I'm like, okay, that's still pretty good. Hopefully we can draw to something good next time, but we'll deal with that later. 39 is a lot, so we'll do that. And then Wellington hits me with a 77-point non-bingo play here. He plays underneath Wattages and plays X'd. 77. I'm like, what is going on? 6 turns, and we're both already at almost... Well, I've actually had 5 turns now. But we're almost... well, we're both going to be over 300. And my next rack is not particularly great. I'm going to slow down a little bit here. I have this rack here. Looking for ways to play off my J for a good number of points, or maybe setting up some kind of fish for some kind of play here, like emoji or something. Not emoji, like Oji, I'm sorry. Something like that, or some kind of high scoring play with the R, potentially. I couldn't think of really any words that would play there. But then I just decided there's lots of E's left. Could try and bingo through the T if I draw an E. So I played Jism for 24 points. So that is there available for me. Ends up being pretty timely because Wellington said I blocked a bingo to the S. He had Guanacos. So he ends up playing Guaco here, so he kept AN. But still, despite what has happened in this game, 3 bingos to start with, and some really pretty decent scores, I'm actually behind by 33, and we're on turn. And my rack, again, isn't particularly great. It is this right now. I'm looking for bingos to play, and I don't see anything. And I think for a little while I was like, I don't really see anything great. Like Import doesn't quite fit here through the R of Lazier. I don't see any bingos with the N, no ING bingos. Down here, no bingos with the T. Until I kind of looked around and was like, wait a minute. I could play something that scores 30 points. And actually keeps some good tiles for potentially this T spot here. And maybe keep the ING spot. And I find it here. It's just Op. And Oboe in between Obi and Bastides. Keeping a nice, the UN prefix with the ED suffix. That kind of bingo is actually kind of common, I guess. Also preserves the IN for ING bingos as well, so there's things like that could draw into. So Op was the best play here. And then, not only that, now Wellington is actually in front and on turn, but he also scores another 66 points with a non-bingo. He plays Quirt for 66 here. And now, after 8 turns, he's already at 414. I'm at 345. But let's see. So I have this rack after op, and I drew into FN. Sorry, not FN. Sorry, CF, I think. And I was like, oh man, what is that? So I looked a little bit harder and was like, wait a minute, I actually have a bingo here. It's the only playable bingo from this rack. And luckily, I say luckily, but Wellington did just play a 66-point play. That's not all that lucky, I guess. But lucky in the fact that he didn't block my bingo spot. And it's actually through this N of housings. I could play Infecund for 76, which is what I found. I played it. Puts me slightly back in front again. And Wellington plays How, H-A-O, above the above Infecund to go 27 points clear. But this is the real important part now. We're going to the end game. And this is what I have. I have 4 E's, F, P, T. So if you now look at the unseen tiles, then that's what's left. I, L, L, N, 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 V, Y. And now that kind of makes it, and then you kind of look at what he just played of how, like he knows that there's a big danger now of me scoring a lot of points on this board, and he's just hoping to draw into something good. But not only that, he actually makes a spot that's actually scores even more for me here. And there's 2 tiles in the bag unseen, so he is in real big trouble here. Especially after my next turn, because I can still maintain a lot of vows, and he can't really do that much. So I actually played Feet for 40 points. That goes right underneath that spot. I keep EEP. Pretty much any combination here is actually not too bad for me. Granted, you know, what is left. Really probably like VN or something like that. It's probably not. It's probably the worst part for me, but it's actually not that bad because he actually can't really do too much anyway. So I play Feet. I'm now up by 13 points. And yeah. So what does he actually have at the end? He has he actually has this. This is actually his rack here. After How, this is his rack. He really cannot do anything here. You get rid of the V, or do you just get rid of? You just play your highest scoring play. Like that's basically the only things you can do. He's 13 points behind. He's not going to outscore me here. I have the P and the Y now, and 2 E's. Very flexible, very likely to score really well. He just plays INN for 19. And then, yeah. So after championship play here, what the best players? Pinion is actually a really nice play for 38. Actually didn't see that, but I played P instead. It's a 1 point worse. For 25 points. And then he plays Vin. I had to chest Bumzo. Good to see you here. I'm glad I can amuse you. But yes, useful word to know. And it scores very well, so I'm okay with that. So P scores 25. And then Wellington plays Vin. And then I play out with my 24 point outplay of Yin and Yage, 24 points. And that is that. It's a 5-14, 475 win over former world champion Wellington Jigeri. A big shootout here, lots of points being scored. Secures my #1 seeding into the final with 20-8 record at a 7-0-2 spread. Again, bearing in mind that I was 10-4 after day 2 and a +13 spread, I managed to get together another 700 spread over the last 2 days. Very encouraging. And yeah, secured the #1 spot for the finals. And again, against a very strong opposition. And actually, all 4 days I went 5-2. So very consistent there. 20-8 record. And yeah, got a bit of a line on day 5 for the finals to start an hour later. Won the first 2 games, then lost the last 3. But again, as I said, no disappointment whatsoever. Josh is a worthy winner here. He can beat anybody 3 times in a row at any given moment. So just so happened to be that time. So be it. You know, that's Scrabble. And as I said at the start of the stream, there were some moments where if it kind of changed a little bit, depending on just maybe 1 or 2 tiles here and there, maybe I would have won. I mean, it comes down to very fine margins and to moments in certain games. But it can come down to that. And that was basically, I felt like that was probably really it, to be honest. Again, I don't think I played particularly badly in any moment. And Josh obviously played really well, so that was yeah, it's all good. Chessbones was saying I also went 5-2 in each of the 4 days if the goal was to get losses on the 4th day. Oh boy. Yeah, so that's kind of my analysis of SPC. Obviously I wasn't at World Cup, which just finished yesterday. And I didn't go through any games that weren't on stream, so all these other games that are around, you can go watch it yourself, and any as well on the streams. But yeah, did feel like I played pretty well. Overall, again, an elo of 2,000 on average. So I'm pretty happy with that. That's a big win for me in that sense. So yeah, I think that's about it. And just to kind of, again, once we're gonna probably wrap up the stream very soon. But if you didn't hear my stream announcement from about an hour and a half ago, I will be cutting down my streams from now on to just once a week. So I do normally stream every Tuesday and every Thursday. From now on, for me, with immediate effect, I will be only streaming probably every Tuesday night. I will probably, if I do need to switch it from Tuesday to Thursday, I will let you guys know before in a previous stream, and I'll tell you if I'm actually going to be streaming on Thursday instead or something. But expect it to be on Tuesday nights from now on. Just that now that I don't have really any tournaments coming up. In the meantime, again, I said I only have Albany New Year's, and that at the moment is the only tournament that I'm expected to be playing in for the next like 9 months, so, or 10 months potentially. So we'll see how things maybe transpire, but that might change over time, or I might go back to 2 streams per week at some point in the future. But for now, we'll just dial it down a little bit after streaming solidly now for 4.5 years. It's been a while now. Started this during COVID, and it's been pretty much exactly to the day, 4.5 years since I first streamed, and taking a bit of a breather basically. So I hope you guys understand with that. There's still other Scrabble streamers who are around who are doing great things, and content creators, YouTubers, you know, all those guys, creating all those other things as well for you to digest as well. So yeah, all good. Astomo says, thank you so much for your consistency and activity. You're holding a heavy torch. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I do it because I love it too. And I enjoy streaming and, you know, carving out some time to play some Scrabble or do something Scrabble adjacent. So, and for you guys to kind of get involved and doing all those things, you know, I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't enjoy doing it. So it's all good. I'm going to start studying 20 hours a day, so I'll probably stream that. I mean, I was thinking about doing more cardbox streams and things, but then I was like, actually, my cardbox is actually in good shape. I actually don't even need to do a cardbox stream. So, like, what am I supposed to be doing? And I don't have any tournaments coming up. So, yeah. Naturally, for now, this will be it. Streaming never stops. That's true. It will be every Tuesday from now on, for the time being, unless I need to switch it to Thursdays for whatever reason. So yeah, I think that's basically it. I don't think I have much else to say. Other than that, other than the prediction that we had going on, how many blanks at SPC do you think I had in those 28 games, getting to a 20-8 record? I can exclusively reveal that. Wait a minute, where did I save this? Sorry, wait a minute. I need to find this again. Wait, I have it saved somewhere. Where did I put it? Oh, okay, here we go. So, okay, so over the 28 games in the lead up to the finals, so out of 56 blanks, I can exclusively reveal that I had 24 blanks. I had less than 50%. So 24 out of 56. Which actually means that option 3, if you vote for option 3, 23 to 25 out of 56. That is the stream result for tonight. So yeah, I was actually below 50% on blanks. And was still below 50% after the finals too, even though I actually got a number of blanks there too. Yes, maybe Muffet Technical knew, I don't know. But option 3 is the one. So if you voted for option 3, well done to you. That is the stream result for tonight for the prediction. Yeah, I think that's about it. If he's making a prediction about blanks, he's obviously below par. I mean, sometimes. Sometimes. Just trying to flex. Well, you know. That's what I'm here for, you know. Okay. I think that's about it. Thanks for the stream. Says Brentus, thank you. Again, gotta say a big thank you to Brentus for the tiles. For those that didn't see them, I'm gonna quickly show you. We have 4 sets from Brentus Firmus. I'm gonna show them all to you again because maybe some of you weren't around. Wait, let me put this on the big screen. So I've got tiles for myself, for my wife Lindsay, for my daughter Leah, and for my mother-in-law Lila. So I have some tiles. This is all made by Brentus Firmus, who's in the chat, and then the tiles look like this. Really nice, nicely made, and you can see the blanks are all Arsenal cannons, and they're all very nice. The Harry Potter, yeah, I've got some Scramble Harry Potter right here. I don't know, I've not actually played it before myself. Lindsay has some pickable tiles here, green ones, and they are like this. So you can see one of the blank tiles is a paddle and an actual pickable, and you can see the font is slightly different as well. How does the Harry Potter one differ? I think that's actually like cards as well. It's like partly card game and part Scrabble in some way. This one is actually my daughter Leah. This is her tile. Again, if you don't know who this is, then you can say in the chat who this is. That is a pickable. It is a pickable t-shirt. Yes, I'm wearing. So with her tiles, she has this, which I think Brandis Famous said that is his favorite ones. So, oh, just put this like that. Pretty nice font, and the colors, really nice, and it's also kind of shiny as well. It's kind of sparkly. You can see it here by just kind of like waving around a bit like that. Yes, so really, really nice. I love the colors of this as well. I actually do love the colors of like blue on blue, or like things like that anyway. And then the last one is for my mother-in-law Lila. So it's a New Orleans themed tiles. And if I open this, then it looks like this. So it's like purple and yellow, like that. It's actually got a slight green like outline around the tiles, around the letters as well. So really nicely made here too. And I was just actually saying that this now of course there's a problem, because now all of us want to play with our own tiles. So how do we do that? Now we have another problem. So yeah, these are all made by Brentus Firmus in the chat. Feel free to ask him whatever you may want. If you want any bespoke tiles, you should definitely check them out. These are about half the weight of normal tiles as well, so something for you to consider. But he will work with you to customize the tiles in whatever way you want. So would 100% recommend you getting some custom tiles from Brentus Firmus. And yeah, I guess that's what I have to say. And actually, also one thing that I also didn't mention was that these are come in the very nice, like, you know, kind of nice, kind of, you know, case here. And like, if you kind of take off like one of the tiles underneath, if I can actually get my fingers under there, which I'll just take out a whole bunch of them. 1 second. So I kind of take out like one whole row of them, or column of them. It's actually kind of hard to take out because there we go. Okay, so like I just kind of like took out the first like, or the last column of them, and then you can see like in the imprint of where the tiles actually go, you can see where the tiles should actually be. Like it's like imprinted in there, so it kind of like stays like stuck in there. So there's kind of these like very small details that are actually provided here that you should pay attention to when Brentus Firmus makes these tiles. So again, all these things are amazing, in my opinion. So yeah, put all these tiles back where they belong in this case, and I'm going to put it back. So again, go check his work out, and go ask him if there's any tiles that you may want. Person going second chooses tiles. 400 tiles scrap. Oh yeah, exactly. We need like a super Scrabble board, or like two different boards, and we can play on different boards. Yes, Brentus Firmus does do boards as well, I believe. You were to see the Harry Potter tiles. I actually don't even know if they actually are. Oh, I guess they are Harry Potter tiles. They're like this. Unless you want to see it like actually out of the box. I've actually not really opened these. I mean, I think Oliver actually sometimes plays with them. So there's actually like some like cards here. So there's random things like, I don't know, I'm just picking like a random card out here. I don't know if you can read it. So look at the tiles in the bag when replenishing your rack. You may choose two specific tiles. All others should be randomly drawn. So there's things like that I just hear. So there's like a slight variation, and then there's like tiles that look like this. They you can't feel anything on them. They're like wooden tiles basically. So yeah, they're just regular tiles with the same font that you just saw on the box. So that's what they look like. I don't know how the card game part works. I've actually never played this myself, but that is what this is anyway. Wait, I should probably put this all back somehow. I don't even know how I got this out. And there's bonuses for magical words as well. I'm not actually sure what they are, but if you want a set like this, then you should go look into buying one, I guess. The tire racks are kind of different colors as well. They have like a little gap in between. They're like, I don't know what that is. Oh, I guess this is especially for holding the tire, for holding the cards. That's what it's for. There you go. Cool. Interesting. Might have to play this one day and actually like figure out how to do this. But yeah, that's for another time. I'm gonna put this back and I'm gonna end the stream, which was actually something I was gonna do like 15 minutes ago, but I didn't get around to doing it yet. So I'm gonna put this back where it was. Okay, we're good. No, yeah, that's there's some real curveballs with these tiles. Okay, so I think I've just gone through everything. I've probably gone through other things that I probably didn't need to, but otherwise I think that is it for my stream tonight. Again, thank you all for watching. If you want to be a subscriber, then feel free to hit that subscribe button. If you have Amazon Prime and it's linked to your Twitch account, then please consider subscribing to this channel. Again, subscribe to any channel would be good. It's literal free money. Then you should do that. Thank you, Hopeful Meta. Thank you for MKW Joseph. You could also if you don't already follow this channel, then please hit that follow button right now as well. It'd be greatly appreciated. But otherwise, I think we're gonna go raid somebody. Let's see. Actually, are we gonna raid anybody? I don't even know. I don't even know the Study Kit channel's even up right now. I don't even think, yeah, the Study Kit channel's not actually working right now. Maybe someone needs to get that up, or maybe they're still coming back from Williamsburg or something like that. In any case, I'm actually probably not going to raid anyone then. Hope you all have a good weekend. I'll see you on Tuesday night for some Scrabble action of some kind. I don't even know what it is yet. But until then, hope you all have a good one.